here we go. So Matt, what's your mystery movie?
Oh God. Wait, I just realized I didn't know you were going to start right this second. My backup recording's not going. Give me one. Do we want to restart?
I'll start off. I'll start it over when your background recording's going.
Okay. And we're good.
So Matt, you're buying a house?
Hey, yes, I joined the leagues of rich entertainers that are buying houses.
Dude, when Hassan gave you that money, that was awesome, dude.
Yeah, I actually work as part of his team. He says it's just him. He's been alone streaming 20 plus hours a day or whatever. I'm actually there with him the whole time. I massage his little toeses, and he gives me a very handsome payout.
Where's that job on Indeed? You know, why can't someone apply for that job on fucking LinkedIn Plus or wherever?
It's on entertainmentcareers.net.
Oh, the one where you have to pay extra money to see certain jobs.
Yeah.
I hate life.
I was actually in the final runnings for that job, but Matt, you just barely beat me out. I was in the final interview, and he was like, Alex, I really like you, but my toesies need stronger hands than yours. And
Hassan, come on the show if you want.
He's not going to do that.
Hey, you don't know. Come on the show. What? So we have a better chance of Gore Verbinski being on than Hassan?
Honestly, I feel like that might be true.
Yeah, he's a millionaire. He doesn't have time for us.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Because we're podcast. And hello and welcome back. If you've listened to us before, that was a beautiful transition.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm Matthew.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Jake.
And this is episode 37?
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Episode 37, part 1 of our Scooby-Doo bracket, baby.
Hell
Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you?
Got some
Work to do now.
We planned that. We planned all that. Did it sound planned, audience?
Scripted that entire beginning.
Yeah.
Don't look back.
Coming at you in today's bracket, we've got Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase versus Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, and Scooby-Doo Adventures, the Mystery Map versus Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invasion. Should be a good one.
Wait, is it Alien Invasion or Alien Invaders? I've always thought it was Invaders. Am I just crazy?
Oh, you might be right.
Remembered that?
Alien Invaders.
No.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
Incredible. My knowledge, my brain is a steel trap for Scooby-Doo alone.
It's too powerful. And hey, Mr. Steel Trap, what do we do on this show? What's that bracket I just talked about?
Well, you already introduced all the movies and said that it was a Scooby-Doo bracket, which does most of the work because we pick a bunch of movies that fit a theme and we compare them. And this one is a Scooby-Doo bracket. So there's Scooby-Doo movies. And that's the whole thing.
Scooby-Doo must be in them.
Right. Must be. None of that Scrappy-Doo shit for now.
Well, I mean, you can have both of them in theory. I don't think
you
there
can
are
have both.
Scrappy-Doo solo movies.
You could have the Remember when it was just Scrappy-Doo and Shaggy, but Shaggy had a red shirt for a little bit? You remember those movies?
Well, it was that was one of the earlier. It was the second generation of TV shows when they
that was a pup named Scooby-Doo.
No, pup named Scooby-Doo has Scooby-Doo and Shaggy in it and the whole team. But there was one where
but they're kids.
Yeah,
there's a couple where there's some movies where Shaggy has a red shirt and it's with Scooby and with Scrappy, and that's the trio.
Yes, those are like Boo Brothers. Yeah. You saying it was just Shaggy and Scrappy is what threw me off.
Oh, sorry. I mean Shaggy, Scooby, Scrappy.
Yeah. Okay.
Scooby's always implied, you know.
The Scooby's implied.
The Scooby is implied.
We also are going to spoil the shit out of these movies, so look out for spoilers. Probably more movies. I just spoiled that Shaggy was wearing a red shirt. That's probably important to a lot of you out there.
If you want to solve these mysteries on your own, make sure to watch the movies before we talk about them.
Jinkies.
Zoinks.
Cool.
Hey man, I thought Matthew was going to say a catchphrase.
Hey Jake. Or no, hey, Alex.
I love it when in Scooby-Doo they go, "Hey, Jake."
Do you want to go ahead and introduce Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase?
I sure can. Released in 2001, directed by Jim Stenstrum, the first of, well, this was the fourth of the Stenstrum movies, but this is the first one in the bracket. It is possibly the golden age of Scooby-Doo in my mind. In this movie, the gang goes to college to visit one of their friends from high school, a computer coder named Eric, who's made a Scooby-Doo video game, and they want to celebrate with him. But something bad happens, and they get sucked into the video game. They have to beat the game, stop the phantom virus, and figure out who is sabotaging Eric's chance at a multi-million-dollar prize.
Damn, Eric's rolling in it.
So this was the Scooby-Doo movie, like, from my childhood that I watched probably the second most. The other one is in part 2 of this bracket. But
right, mystery map.
I just think this is, in my mind, the kind of culmination of the Stenstrum movies. It has so many callbacks to the old TV show. I feel like it has the least traditional mystery, but in many ways is the most traditional movie, if that makes sense, in terms of like tone, action sequences. You get a lot more of the like running back and forth in circles. You get like the goofs and the gaffs. Yeah, I just think this one's a great one. You get all the monsters coming back at the end from the classic show. So good. Yeah, Jake, what do you think? Because Matt's going to introduce a movie in just a second.
Yeah. I fucking love Cyber Chase, man. Like, I'm just glad we're doing Scooby-Doo. I'm just going to be in such a happy place because, yeah, these are so fun and so great. And also, you know, I don't go back and watch the Scooby-Doos often, except for the live action ones, admittedly. But I'm so glad going back and watching these because it's like so fun to like feel like a little kid and like, yeah, this is a fun one. It has Red Shirt Shaggy in it, which we talked about, and it's also basically the plot and foundation for the live action second movie. You know, at the end, right? Yeah. Just because the OG monsters come to life. Honestly, when I saw like the tar monster and all that, I was like, oh shit. This is just live action too. What did Monsters Unleashed do? They just stole from Cyber Chase. No, I remember really liking this one. Yeah, I'm gonna like most, if not all, of these movies. But Matthew, what are your thoughts?
I love this movie. I have very, very good memories of Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. I watched it a ton as a wee lad. Yeah, it's just a really fun Scooby-Doo romp. And a very strange little anecdote. When I was into my teenage years, I was at the post office for some reason. And as I'm sitting waiting in line, I've, realized the guy is watching something on his phone off to the side. And then as I get to the people before me, they have like 2 small children. To keep the children distracted, he tilts the phone between himself and the children when it comes to light that he is watching Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase as he's just working at the post office.
Wait, so this was the guy behind the counter at the post office?
Yes.
Amazing. So good.
I had a weird post office thing happen to me the other day. It has nothing to do with this, but I wanted to share it with you guys. Okay. I was standing at the post office, and this actually happened. This is 100% true. I was standing at the post office for work, kind of deliver something, and a guy burst in, sweating so hard, looking like panting or whatever, and he's carrying an urn, and pushes past everybody, like literally like pushes past everyone to the front of the line, and he's like sweating, carrying this urn, and he's like, tell me something. Can you ship someone's cremated remains to the Dominican Republic? And everyone just stopped, and we just stood there. And we're just like, and then after much, like everyone in there, not just the workers, but people standing in line started to debate if you could or not. And we just started talking about it. And we're all just like, well, I don't know. It's like, whatever. It's like, whose remains are that? And it's like, after much, heated, spirited debate, we decided you had to get approval from a local whatever office. Someone said that. I don't know if it's true.
Office.
Coroner's, I imagine. And you got to prove that that's actually the person. Like, you could be shipping anything on that Earth, or anyone. You got to prove that
you have
that's
to
the person.
prove that it's actually a person's ashes.
Yeah, and it's going to, where they want to be let go or kept or whatever. So that's a spooky fun fact for your Halloween, starting off our first Halloween.
Wow.
If you ever want to cremate somebody or hide a body, you got to get permission.
Another post office story. I was in the post office once. I was sending out invitations for a thing, and I had to put a bunch of stickers on them.
Yeah. No, and I remember that. That was really, another
wild
spooky
story.
fact.
Crazy story. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess Cyber Chase is the only movie in this matchup. It gets a bye week. Let's move on. Second matchup.
No, the other one's very important to me.
Suffer a terrific and terrible fate if you do such a.
You'll put a
such
hex
a thing
on me.
Yes.
Huh?
Hey, what's the next movie?
I'll go ahead and introduce Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. Released in 1999, another Jim Stenstrum banger. The mystery gang is summoned to Oak Haven, Massachusetts, by famous writer Ben Ravencroft, as there are spooky sightings going on of an ancient witch, an ancestor of Ben Ravencroft, and everything is not as it seems, and most importantly, about to make their big break in the recording scene, the Hex Girls make their first appearance in the Scooby-Doo canon, and it's electrifying.
Nice. You've been preparing that all week, huh?
Maybe.
All week.
I mean, well, I love this movie. It has Scooby-Doo in it. It's got the Hex Girls in it. It's got the classic Northeast in it. I love those fall vibes. This movie, I love it so much. It's incredible. Jake, how did you feel about it? How was your rewatch?
Everyone who ever has known me should know why I love this movie. The man himself, Tim motherfucking Curry, is in this movie. And not only as Tim Curry, he does this thing in this movie that's so funny to me, where he tries so hard in the first half to sound like a normal human being.
Yes,
and
he does.
It's the funniest thing. I was like, Tim, you're just a creepy motherfucker. You're not fooling anybody by your I'm a normal guy voice. And then as soon as he shifts into his I'm the villain, spoilers, it's smashing. It's
there's one line.
So
it's halfway through the movie, and he goes, "What's the matter, Velma?" It hits so suddenly because he's been trying so hard, and then all of a sudden it just starts to really shift back.
He sounds like a little robot dude. He's like, "I am Ben Ravencroft, and welcome to my hometown."
He recorded
Velma,
every line
I'm
individually.
Innocent. Yeah, no, it's so good. I mean, come on, this not only Tim Curry. I mean, it's a premier spooky time Scooby movie. With witches and Wiccans, whatever, and the Hex Girls. It's it's gonna be a hard one to beat. Admittedly, mostly because of Tim Curry, but yeah, I love this movie.
Well, get excited for the other half of the bracket, Jake.
Yeah. No, I know Tim is my fucking man. Yeah, but Alex, what do you think?
So I actually did not have a very strong connection to the Witch's Ghost for whatever reason. It just never stood out to me. And I think it's because I didn't watch it late enough to get really horny for the Hex Girls. I was still too young when I first saw it, and then I never rewatched it.
What an awesome sentence.
Just as young.
I never rewatched it because Scooby Cyber Chase was always my thing. So that was the one that I would rewatch. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know. I mean, the Hex Girls don't stand out. I mean, I get the obsession with the Hex Girls, right? I get it.
Good.
But I also, I don't know.
What?
The mystery in this one feels secondary, and I guess it's comparing it to Cyber Chase is, funny, but because Cyber Chase doesn't really have a mystery. But I don't know. It's this one, and we'll get into Alien Invaders later. It feels like the mystery isn't I don't know. The mystery in this one isn't a good mystery, if that makes sense to me. Like, the witch itself they make it so obvious the whole movie. And I guess they do that for all of them, kind of. But
well, they're children's movies.
I also think, I was going to speak
like
on
I guess we're just hopping right into it.
Right.
Go for it, Jake.
I was going to speak on two things actually that were going to address what you were saying directly, Alex. One, I tried to do this thing where, because I don't fully remember these movies hardcore, so I try to do a thing where like I try to guess the villain like right away, see if I was like right or whatever. And obviously, Witch's Ghost, so easy. Tim Curry was speaking, trying to be normal villain. But you know what? I guess Cyber Chase is faster for some reason. I was like, oh, red-haired dude talking about baseball, villain. Like, I just, for some reason, I just thought that was hilarious, but that was totally like my bias, and I don't know, they probably make it super easy to tell. I mean, obviously he did so many baseball puns throughout the whole thing, I was like, oh. So like, that's not an issue for me. I think it's just fun, whatever. When you were talking about Cyber Chase being a really interesting format for the Scooby-Doo movies, I agree with that, but I also thought Witch's Ghost was because they solve like 3 mysteries in this movie. They start out like solving one, and then they solve like the other one like midway through, and then all of a sudden Tim Curry's a fucking warlock. And I thought it was pretty cool that they like literally solved 3 different mysteries, solved them pretty like quickly, and then like did a spooky thing at the end. I thought they both did a fun format. In Cyber Chase, they're literally in a thing trying to survive and beat a video game. Also, is Cyber Chase just the best video game movie of all time? Or one of them, sorry, Sonic.
I think it is.
It joins Sonic. If Sonic and Cyber Chase went up on the podcast, I don't know who I'd vote for. I
will say the video game seems kind of dumb as hell because they like spawn in and then the Scooby Snacks are right there almost every single level. The hardest level is for sure the dinosaur level where you have to get to the volcano and there's the ticking clock of the volcano blowing up.
Yeah.
Like, that's bad game design. Sorry, Eric.
Hey, we don't technically know if he wins the competition or not. Someone may have come in and like they made Halo 1 and it's like damn.
Wait, you didn't see the post-credit scene where they made Halo 1 and he turned into a villain?
I like how Billy, who's like the red-haired, he was made the baseball video game. He's like, my video game is so much better than yours. See, you can play baseball on a computer. And it's like, there are so many baseball computer games. Like, how is this?
The other guy's game can literally zap things from reality into the game. It's
not beating Halo 1. I'm sorry, it's not beating Halo 1.
Halo 1 was extraordinarily innovative for the time. It really redefined the multiplayer shooter.
I want to see a movie where the Scooby-Doo gang gets zapped into Halo 1 and has to survive that story. Which one of the Scooby Gang do you guys think is Master Chief?
Fred would say it's him.
Yeah.
But we all know it's Scrappy Doo.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Which, when we get to the live action...
We'll talk about it.
Anyway,
we went off the rails on my original point on the format of these 2 movies, but if anyone else had any comments about it, please share their thoughts.
Yeah. I think the thing I was going to throw out is I don't know... I mean, I don't think I agree with your point on the mystery in the Witch's Ghost. And the thing I wanted to throw out was in relation to Jake's bit on guessing who the villain was. Because I remember as a kid, like piecing it together and then watching it now, I was like, oh, there's just like a literal baseball diamond on the second level. This guy is not hiding the fact. Did he program in the baseball diamond to the other guy's game, or do you think the what's the
Phantom Virus?
The Phantom Virus built the baseball diamond there.
I think he had to have coded it, right? Like, I think he was just like really annoyed and frustrated at the guy, so he was just like late at night like coding in these like shitty things into this guy's game just to mess with him.
It's even more tragic. Has anyone here seen Free Guy yet?
No, not yet.
Well, can I spoil Free Guy?
I might see it eventually. I don't know, man.
I'll spoil, like, it's not like the big spoiler.
Okay,
it's the fairly obvious spoiler. But like, it's basically
Ryan Reynolds is a ghost.
No,
And the
it's
whole
like
movie
a
takes
very
place in the RIPD universe.
No, guys, the Cyber Chase movie, it's very tragic because it's actually Eric loves red-haired guy, whatever his name was. Eric loves him and put in stuff that he loved in the game as a way to like, oh, this is part of your love too. I really love you. This is the way to be like subconsciously in the data, you're part of this. And
Yeah, I was
he didn't
planning on
see that.
sharing the prize money.
I made
with
this
our
game
whole
for
lab.
you,
For
red-haired
you.
guy in the
Yeah.
hat.
Red-haired evil guy in that hat who frowns the whole first minute you see him, so you're like, yeah, he's evil. Yeah. No, I think they're in love, but was Scooby-Doo gonna go into that in 2000 or 1999? I don't know.
Alternatively, imagine the scene. There's the baseball diamond at their college. And it's late in the night as you just hear the wheels turning of some like heavy dolly.
Yeah.
As it cuts to a shot where you see our scientist friend dragging the zapping machine to the baseball diamond, where he sets it up and just zaps the entire diamond into the game.
Yeah.
And then the baseball team shows up the next day and they're just like,
Yeah, and their old drunk coach who's like trying to get back into fame was accidentally sleeping at the baseball diamond, and he zapped into the video game.
He's one of the Moon Goons.
Yeah.
I love that they call them Moon Goons.
Moon Goons.
So good.
Daphne's like, oh no, Moon Goons.
The skeletons in the Coliseum level just going like 4 times. It's the only sound they make. Oh, so good.
Okay.
Inspired writing.
So I do have an important plot point that's in both of these movies, and I think it's in all of the Stenstrum movies.
Yeah, if it is what I think you're going to say.
I think I'm also
we are all into it. Scooby-Doo, is he not a dog?
Okay, yeah, what the fuck, man?
Because in every single one of these movies, there's a scene where, someone is like, you and your dog, and he's like, dog? Where?
Yeah, or like in Alien Invaders, I'll just say it now, Shaggy's like, you can understand him? Like, almost like scared that she could understand him? What?
I think Scooby-Doo is an alien who lost his memory.
Wow.
Could be. Except when we return to a pup named Scooby-Doo, he also has parents on Earth.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people can be adopted.
He was born on Earth. No, like these are like, they look exactly like him. They also talk, etc.
Damn.
Well, maybe they're aliens too.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying he was born and naturalized on Earth. So really,
right? Okay,
so he is an Earth citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. On that similar like note, my biggest thing watching cyberspace was because the thing I remember the most in cyberspace, Cyber Chase, sorry, for all you purists out there, I do apologize.
I was getting ready.
Yeah, I was getting ready. Yeah, he held up a knife, actually. You guys couldn't see it. It was the twin shit, was when they met themselves in it. I was like with their OG like kind of skins, and then Shaggy had the red shirt, as we remember. Do they have consciousness? At that point, they have to know they're in a game and know they can never grow old and know they can never see the world and never, I don't know.
Well, I mean, they can. They zap Scooby out in the post-credits scene.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah,
so they could come hang out in the real world.
They're just choosing not to, which is kind of like, it's a real fucked up, like, I
don't think they can choose to get zapped out of the game.
So they can't choose. So they have no choice. They are prisoners.
They are prisoners of computer science guys' creation.
But it's Plato's wall. Like Plato's wall in the
allegory of the cave.
Allegory of the cave, because they born and raised in that computer world. They know nothing else,
Also, I think importantly, we have to key into the fact that they love that last level, like the whole city there. He coded an entire city. There's like as many restaurants as you want. There's movie theaters. There's all this cool stuff. You just don't go near the carnival. On the pier. They're like, yeah, it's awesome. There's like great restaurants, good food. It's free. But
they can never grow old. I mean, I guess they're programmed to enjoy it as well, maybe. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. At the very end, the copies ask Shaggy and Scooby, hey, there's a bunch of great cyber diners around here. Do you want to stay? And they say yes. But Velma's like, we have to go. They take away the real life Scooby and Shaggy's free choice, free will, and don't let them stay in the cyber world.
To be safe forever, to eat unlimited food, never getting fat or old.
Yeah. They take that shit away. They can't go to the cyber buffets.
Yeah.
Velma's the real villain.
Probably.
So I do want to say, I was rewatching it, and I don't know if I was projecting this onto this movie, but it almost seemed like they wanted, the writers and creators wanted to show like how far the characters have come from where they originally were.
Mm-hmm.
They say in movie, like, Eric hasn't seen us in a long time, so he based these characters off of like how we used to dress. But they also acted slightly different. Like, the scene specifically that sticks out to me is the Daphne's in the funhouse. And the like computer Daphne is freaking out about her weight because she's in the fat looking mirror. And the other Daphne is like, come on, this is just a mirror. We're better than this. And then like the computer one goes back, you know, I couldn't tell if I was just projecting like, oh, they're showing that Daphne has grown as a character, or if they were just like doing that as a joke.
Doing as a bit. Yeah.
I mean, the only other instance I can think of is at the end when they plan the rousing ruse with the two Scoobies. And Cyber Scooby is much braver. Which I guess
that's
maybe
because real Scooby's seen some shit.
Yeah, maybe. So I'm not sure, because I definitely think like most of the cyber and real equivalents don't act any different than each other.
Fair.
So
although
it could just be they thought it was a funny joke. I don't know.
I will say I want to see the scene where Fred they had to fight over who was going to drive, and I bet that was a huge machismo, like masculinity thing. Who won? And which one won again?
Cyber Fred, I think.
Cyber Fred.
Fan theory. Maybe modern Fred has grown. You know?
Exactly.
And Cyber Fred is still really big on his machismo. That's why he wears his ascot, because he wants to look dapper.
That is fair. If you wear an ascot, you do have machismo. That
gets into another conversation I want to have. Their outfits. Because the Jim Stenstrum movies, they all have different outfits in every movie according to what the weather is, which I adore. I think that is so cool. The one that stands out to me the most is Fred's shirt. How he has the jacket in Witch's Ghost, and then he has like the button up in Cyber Chase. Is it just a collared shirt and not a button up? Yeah, the button up is an Alien Invader.
It's a polo shirt that he wears in Cyber Chase.
That's Alien Invaders. Yeah. No, I like them having fun with their actual outfits, all that.
So something I think is important to call out, because we should probably vote soon.
Oh, I haven't even been looking at time. Oh, geez.
Yeah. The ending sequence of Witch's Ghost, I think, is so good. And there is an incredible piece of trivia in relation to it.
Yes, trivia, yes.
As Ben Ravencroft is powering up, he's like, no, I'm a warlock. And it's like these swirling camera shots and this incredible displays of power. I don't know if you guys noticed, but that like climactic sequence has like a shift in the way the camera like animation works.
Yeah.
The reason for that is those portions were done by Mook Animation, who is a Japanese
they did a guest
studio.
Animator?
That is
awesome.
So funny. I specifically noted that it turns into an anime. That is so funny.
That is
cool.
intentional. That's final
awesome.
sequence is anime Scooby-Doo, basically.
That is
wild. Rocks.
I love it when like studios do that, because it is a common thing where like they give guest animators. They did it with like Steven Universe. They do that with like Adventure Time. That's so cool. Teen Titans did an episode like that once. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Mook Animation helped with most of the Stenstrum movies. I just think it's much harder to identify, because I don't think there were Mook key animators for the rest of the productions, where there was Mook key animators in Witch's Ghost, which is why that looks so anime.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love that. The one thing is how Sarah Ravencroft talks is
thy nipples are it's crazy.
I thank thee. Thou cannot know what my bondage hath been like. Who art thou?
She's trying to show up. She's trying to show up Tim, and she knows she can't, so she's really reeling it in. You know.
Yeah.
It is inspired writing.
I have one last thing that I've been keeping note of for each of these movies that I'll say, and then we can vote. You could say whether or not this is a pro or con to you, internalize it, whatever. Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost gives its rendition of the Scooby Dooby Doo Where Are You song within the first 10 minutes. Cyber Chase does it within the last 10 minutes. Do with that what you will, and your information.
I think something also worth noting is that while I love Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, there is no way the music is anywhere near as good as Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. Like,
it's tough.
Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase has a rough go of it. They tried to make it like computery and sci-fi, and then the Scooby Dooby Doo Where Are You is like kind of groovy and like it's just not as good.
I think if Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase had been made like 5 years later, once stuff like recreations of like 8-bit music had started to become popular, that stuff would have been popping off, would have gotten like an 8-bit Scooby-Doo Where Are You remix, and that would have been tight. But unfortunately, it was a bit before the curve.
Yeah, it chose to shy away from the Digimon style of computer game music, and it really was a missed opportunity.
Because we're the Hex Girls, and we're gonna put a spell on you. I'm a Luna stan, personally. Luna's my favorite.
Wind, fire, and... Shall we?
Let's vote.
Yeah, I won't. I could talk about the Hex Girls all day, and I won't do that.
Vote, when you say your vote, say which Hex Girl's your favorite before you vote, and then we'll, go.
Or which Cyber Chase level is your favorite. Okay. Or both. I can go first.
Okay.
Nice.
I am voting for Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. Thorne is my favorite. I love Jennifer Hale dearly. She's an incredibly talented voice actress, or actor, I suppose. And my favorite level is the final one. The whole Cyber City is just so good. Special shout out to Moon Goons, though.
Yeah, Moon Goons are great. I can go. I'll go. I'm also voting for Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. I am a Luna stan. We dig the big hair. We dig the drums. That's my girl. Cyber Chase. I'm gonna shout out the dragon level because Shaggy refused to kiss from the princess. That's fucking metal as hell. And I love him for that. He said, "I'm in my bag right now. Get the fuck out of the way." So
because his heart was meant for someone else.
Yeah, it's true. And someone else already had his heart because that movie is technically before this one.
Right.
I am also voting for Witch's Ghost. I love Cyber Chase, but I do think Witch's Ghost is a better movie. Favorite Hex Girl is Thorne. Favorite level in Cyber Chase is the dinosaur level because Fred has the line where there's a will, there's a woolly mammoth, which is the one thing that I actually remembered from this movie.
Right. And then Velma goes on to say, this isn't accurate, but go along with us, audience. Like, hilarious.
And the woolly mammoth level was Velma's favorite level.
Yeah.
She said it at the post-credit scene.
Oh. And she's smart.
Yeah. She really liked the woolly mammoths. She liked to ride them. Anyway.
Congrats to Witch's Ghost. Cyber Chase is amazing. Guys, if you have like 55 minutes, go see it.
It could have been a finals matchup to me. And I think I might say that every single matchup.
Yeah.
Well, most of them.
Especially for
hey, Jake, do you want to go ahead and introduce Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders?
I sure do. I'm so excited about this. Yeah, I pitched Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders. Came out in 2000. You guessed it, Jim Stenstrum, whatever.
Stenstrum.
They've said it enough times for you guys to get it.
And we'll say it more times.
Yeah. Scooby and the gang get stranded in the desert, and they go and come across this small town, and they meet some aliens and get funky uncovering a mystery. Pretty fun time. this one I remember the most fondly because I too had a crush on Crystal. And it was an innocent thing. Like, it was a very like well, Hex Girls is a more like
What
you
are
know,
they doing to me?
yeah, what are they doing? Like my body, like, you know, I might have gotten my first beard hair out of the Hex Girls, but with Crystal, like, I generally thought she could take care of me and I could take care of her and we'd have a really good life together. This and Bridge to Terabithia, I don't know if I've told you guys this, are two movies that made me genuinely sad, but I remembered vividly because this was during a time in my life where I couldn't distinguish if things were real or not in movies. And so when they like disappeared or when they died in Bridge to Terabithia, we told you we'd be spoiling other movies. I genuinely was like, oh shit, I'll never get a chance to be with them. That was my thought. That was my actual thought. And so when she got beamed up, not that she was an alien, just when she got beamed up, I was like, man, I probably won't get a chance to be with her. And that makes me sad.
Damn.
Yeah. This also has the best song, in my opinion, in it, just because of its ludicrous whatever shit.
Hey, I'm with you.
Yeah. So, Alex, how you feel? How you feel about Alien Invaders?
I love this movie. This was the second most Stenstrum Scooby-Doo that I saw. I think this one is so good. I think the mystery is actually pretty good. It's got real aliens. It's got a real jackalope. Scooby-Doo is also not a dog in this movie.
Dude, yeah. I have something to say about that after, but please continue.
So one of my absolute favorite moments, and it is insane that they make this joke. The aliens, when the old guy, Lester, when he is telling his story about being abducted, they like kind of gloss over this fact, but they did experiments on me. And it's very heavily implied that he got probed.
Well, they cut out, like, they like cut out, and then you can't hear the rest of their conversation in the diner, and then all of them gasp, and then they go back in, they're like, are you serious?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And so think about the fact that this was just like these like satellite workers pretending to be aliens. Did these guys probe this guy? It's
Awful.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are my thoughts. Matt, how about you?
Another Stenstrum, another classic fave from the back of my brain. Jake, totally get crushing on our girl. Yeah, I mean, I love this movie. It's very good. We'll get into it. It's a good one. Alex, would you like to introduce Scooby-Doo Adventures, the mystery map?
So happy to introduce Scooby-Doo Adventures and the Mystery Map. Directed by Joe McNofe. I guess that's how you say his name. Released in 2013. Premiered at San Diego Comic-Con, actually. This 45-minute romp is a puppet movie with puppets based off the style of Pup Named Scooby-Doo. Oh my god. This movie, I think, is so funny. It is very modern Scooby-Doo, where it like has distilled the mystery and the like Scooby-Doo moments into those like classic chases. The characters are very archetypical, like have very strong archetypes around who they are, rather than, you know, being very thoughtful, interesting characters. The joke that stands out to me is Fred repeating what the girls say and then, you know, having no addition to add to it, which I just think is so funny. Yeah. My absolute favorite moment, and we can get into, I guess, yeah. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of this?
I can go first.
Yeah, please.
As someone who's seen a lot of Scooby-Doo movies, I hadn't seen this one. I think the switch to puppets is a really fun change of medium.
Yeah. 110%, yes.
I do think they do. I think there are some good, highly distilled Scooby-Doo gags. Like, they play really hard on like expectations of what types of things you want out of Scooby-Doo. There are some oddities about this movie, though, that I'm sure we'll get into.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that for now. Jake, what do you think?
A couple first thoughts. My first note in this movie is just me going, because I watch them and they take the notes and like just impulsively just type whatever, and I leave it all just to like, because it's funny. My first note in this movie is just ha 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 in all caps. And then the second note is, I hope for the love of God you did a deep dive into this one, because I want all the info. I want so much background info. And to be a slug on the steps of the San Diego Comic-Con, where they premiered this, I want to know what the fucking... I want to know.
So, you know how like every Comic-Con reveal, they always have like audience reaction footage? I wish there was audience reaction footage of Scooby-Doo and the Adventures, the Mystery Map.
Do we know for sure there's not?
I don't think there is.
Damn.
I couldn't find
I'm gonna
any.
have to like go full journalist, full spotlight, and just go like look into this. This is also an inspiring pick because Matthew Lillard came back to voice Scooby for this.
Matthew Lillard voices Scooby, or voices Shaggy and all the modern Scooby-Doo stuff.
Which is, I just love how much he loves Shaggy. Yeah, I love how much he loves...
This movie has an insane cast. It has the Matthew Lillard as new Shaggy, but then it has like the classic Fred, Daphne Velma. It also has John Rhys Davies as Gnarly Beard the Pirate, D. Bradley Baker as the other people, and then Jeff Bennett as the other people. Like, super famous, successful voice actors are in this movie, and it is so funny.
So the first thing I just want to jump into before we leave behind Mystery Map and hop into comparing, Alex, what was the director's name again?
Jomac Nof?
That's weird. Almost sounds like it's totally made up, doesn't it?
It sounds pretty weird.
What else has Jomac Nof directed? Nothing.
No fucking way. Is that it? Is there no big twist?
Oh no, there's more. We'll get to more. Yeah, it was directed under a pseudonym. Who the fuck the actual director is? There are only rumors.
Yeah, this happened to my buddy Gary once.
Wild.
Haha, Zodiac Killer. Pew pew pew.
What if the Zodiac Killer actually did direct this? That'd be pretty metal.
That would be crazy. Yeah, so I just think that's wild. Such a fun piece of trivia.
What are the guesses? Do people like? What are the guesses?
The thought is Stephanie D'Abruzzo, who voiced Velma in this.
Yeah. Who's
typically like a Sesame Street person. May have been the one to direct it.
No one wanted to claim it? Like, no one wanted to claim this movie? What if it won an Oscar? Who's accepting this?
I wonder if it was like a cast thing. Like, none of the cast wanted to... Like, they wouldn't do it if it said that she was the director because they didn't want her name to have, like, more weight than theirs.
Maybe.
Because this is, like, all of the Scooby-Doo people.
Matthew Lillard wouldn't do that.
Matthew Lillard just vibes full time. Like,
he does.
He is Shaggy. He's such a good Shaggy.
He's also just the king of spooky season, I'll say it. Scream, 13 Ghosts. Oh, my God. Great horror movies.
Scooby-Doo and the 13th Ghost.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think we all know which way this matchup is going to go. So I think let's just celebrate Mystery Map while we can.
This has become Alex's tactic.
Yeah, this has become your tactic.
I mean, okay. I think let's talk about the best part of Mystery Map, which is the puppet medium, right? I think it fits so perfectly into the style, the characters, and my absolute favorite part is that they pulled the dance breaks from Pup Named Scooby-Doo and did it with puppets.
Yeah.
So funny. The puppets dancing, just like squatting up and down, and then they like did Fred's fingers to do like the peace signs.
At one point, you could see someone's hand up Shaggy's ass. That's a real thing. Like a minute or two in, how'd they eat that pizza? That was pretty cool.
Some of the animation is pretty good.
Yeah, when he's impressive. Like got the cracker on his head and he's taking little bites of it, I was like, huh. How are they doing that? Was pretty cool.
I have a hot take, a hot Hollywood take.
Go for it, my guy.
All movies for the next 2 years should be 45 minutes. Just to see what happens. Just to see what they do.
Every major studio must produce at least one puppet movie a year for the next 2 years.
God, I would love that. This felt like Scientology's version of like VeggieTales. That's the closest I can like get with this movie to describing it.
Something I want to... Well, there are two things. One, I want to address the musical interludes.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys got the sense of this as you were watching, but it's kind of strange that a lot of the music doesn't seem to match thematically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
And would you like to know why?
Sure.
Is it because
Please
Joe
enlighten us.
whatever his face did it and
No.
that person doesn't exist?
No, it's because all of the songs are just reused from other Scooby-Doo movies, which is why there's no thematic cohesion, because it's just like literally the interlude in the middle where they're all dancing on the colorful background. That's the theme to Abracadabra Doo, which it's ridiculous. I'm like, why are they talking about like summertime in this one?
Okay,
and why is this
that one I
one
wrote down. I wrote that one down because the lyrics are here comes summer. Man, I really feel the heat. Let's go fishing. Gonna solve a mystery. That's when a giant parrot is chasing him in a cave, by the way. Underneath the moon, underneath the stars, Scooby and the gang are here, sitting by the fire, playing our guitars.
Which is
Let's
from
hear campfire cheer.
which is from Scooby-Doo Camp Scare.
That's so funny. You know what, guys? I'll say it. Scooby-Doo Adventures in the Mystery Map, I think it's the culmination of all Scooby-Doo movies.
Directed by some no-name. Oh, wait. Is the writer also a fake? Oh, my God. The writer is also a fake person. I didn't know that one. Tosh E.
Incredible.
Mob.
Oh my God, it's Tashi Mob. They called them poopy heads in this, and it really hurt my feelings.
What is this? Some kind of a kid convention? Woohoo!
I also want hot dogs in the middle of a spooky forest.
Yeah,
You know?
right? It's a great spot.
Something I think is so bizarre is how they string together solving the mystery. I would not have put that math together of why like it's like a bucket of of mustard. They must have used this on the hot dog that they sold it to. It's just like the weirdest, strangest combinations.
Unironically, I think the hints that they give are surprisingly interesting because I had no idea who either of the parrot or gnarly beard were. I think the clues make sense though, like the compass with the initials, the mustard and the hot dogs, the kid convention, the paint from the
pizza
bicycle.
sauce. Oh, not that.
Pizza sauce. Oh yeah, no, the pizza sauce is the red, the bike, like they don't versus in Alien Invaders, it's like, they have wet mud on their shoes. I wonder why. You know, like unironically, I think Mystery Map has a better mystery.
Because they don't know what they're just putting in random shit. But
Because
you're
they
right.
don't-
You're
it's
right.
not-
Tashi Mob
It's
was
so
like
unobvious. Yeah.
I'll be
mean-
honest. I actually guessed it was the pizza delivery boy, and here's my reasoning. He kind of looked like me.
and Jake has a long history of being a Scooby-Doo villain.
Yeah,
Jake has a long history of dressing up as a giant pirate parrot and squawking and chasing kids through caves.
You know I love pirates.
I do.
I just want to call out my two favorite jokes from Mystery Map because I genuinely think they're really, really funny. My first one is when Daphne steals a plane and then she's like, "Oh, my father stashes planes throughout." That
good
shit
one.
was so
Wild.
funny. That was just such a funny way to be like, "Yeah, fuck it, there's a plane." That was hilarious.
Yeah.
The second one, I don't know if they intended this, but this is how I read it. Shaggy dresses up as a giant saltine, and he says, "I've been a lot of things, but never a giant cracker." And you know what? I think that was a joke on how.
Yeah. Tashi
I
Mob
think they did it.
got him good with that one.
So-
Got him good. Oh God, I loved those two jokes, and those are my two favorite jokes in the treasure map. And that's all I have to say.
It's just such a fascinating little movie.
It really is.
I genuinely feel though like this whole movie was a bit like by you, Alex, to get me like, you know how we have the banana thing, right?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. We can fill the audience in on this in case they want to try it with their friends at home. But I feel like this whole movie was a bit for me to get bananaed by Fred because he randomly pulls out that banana at the end, and I'm like, "Fuck! Do I have to eat a banana now?"
Maybe.
And I did. I went and ate one.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. For those who don't know, if you give your friend a banana, no matter what, they have to eat it. That's life, and that's what it is. And try it with your friends at home; they'll really like it.
Probably
In any social setting.
Yeah, it's turned into a fun bit where we hide bananas for each other, and if you stumble across it, you've been bananaed.
Yeah,
it's a great time. Your
and
friends
Fred
will love
banana
it.
to me.
Your friends will love it.
Your friends will love it. You won't have to shove a banana in your mouth at a restaurant in New York and try to find somewhere to put the banana peel so it doesn't look like how the fuck this banana peel end up. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Anyone else have other thoughts?
I have more notes about Alien Invaders, but I'm sure we can save them for a couple episodes from now.
If that's how you feel.
Let's vote. You guys go first, so I don't have to betray myself.
I can vote first. Which audience, really quickly, a little callback to the ancient days of the Tough Cut, because we're 30 plus episodes in now. Remember when I had a tough time deciding what I was going to vote for? Not anymore. I vote first a lot because I am decisive.
That is true. You have been more decisive lately. That's pretty awesome.
I am voting for Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders.
Ooh, it hurts.
I'm also voting for Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders. Justice for a crystal.
I guess I'll vote for Alien Invaders too, because I'm a joiner.
Okay.
It's gonna be a fun matchup, though.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Great songs in both of them. We didn't get a full chance to deep dive in the songs for Witches, Ghost, and Alien Invaders. It's going to be a good time.
It's finals territory with those two. Like that matchup.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I have so much to talk about for both of these movies, and I'm very excited.
All right. With that, coming at you next week, though, before we get to talking about Witches, Ghost versus Alien Invaders, we've got another side of the bracket. Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf versus Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King.
Right.
Scooby-Doo, the 2002 live action, versus a mystery surprise secret
God damn
movie.
it, what movie is it? We have to know.
He won't tell us.
And
he won't tell us.
I know what you're expecting. We have sung the high praises of Jim Stenstrum through this bracket. He is so talented, so powerful. I know what you're expecting. However,
the movie left is the Zombie Island.
I come here to tell you that Zombie Island, just too scary.
Oh, no.
And you know who I think's been given a raw deal by the movies in this bracket?
Who? Is it Batman?
Talented. Scooby-Doo, Batman, the Brave and the Bold. No.
Is it John Cena?
The talent. No, it's not the John Cena movie either.
Is it the live action Daphne and Velma movie on HBO Max now?
No, but close.
Oh.
Daphne has gotten such a raw deal. I think it's time to put her in the driver's seat. Scooby-Doo and the Curse of the 13th Ghost is going to be
great one.
the
Great pick.
surprise last movie. I want to show you what it truly means to be Daphne Blake.
I love that. I love that pick.
Also,
shout out to at Beef Boy Jr. For requesting that. I hope you're listening.
And if you give that movie a watch out for Daphne's fire new fit. Okay, because it kills, my guys.
it's going to be up against another a bunch of fire fits in the live action. I mean, they both be dressing.
They do.
Wow.
They call them ranch because they be dressing. Anyway, that's my best joke of the
that
podcast.
That is unironically the best joke ever. We should just stop making the podcast now.
Which we've made that joke before, that the joke was so good we should stop the podcast. I know you're disappointed at No Zombie Island, as am I, but it's just too scary for you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll just have to.
I was worried about the audience.
I would have gotten
I'll
real
be honest.
spooked.
You'll just have to wait for Scooby-Doo Bracket 2,
which will be happening.
Yeah. Probably next week.
God. Probably.
Also,
amazing.
We are in the thick of October at this point, and man, is it spooky season.
Hell yeah.
And the boys at the Tough Cut love a couple of good spooks.
Hell yeah.
So be on the lookout.
Be on the lookout.
Because who knows what we'll do.
We may drop some spooky things for you. Some real, not as spooky as Zombie Island, we promise. We promise. But some spooky stuff's going to be happening. And we love you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening to us. We're almost nearing a year of this. Again, we've been saying it. We love you guys' support. Follow us on all the socials at Tough Cut Pod. Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, whatever.
And if you enjoyed the show, tell someone who has heard of Scooby-Doo about this episode.
Tell someone who's genuinely blind without their glasses.
My glasses.
Tell me to.
Tell Tim Curry about this episode.
Oh, I love you, Tim.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well out there.
I love Tim Curry. Wow.
Smashing.
Well, did Tim Curry voice Nigel Thornberry? Or are you just...
Did you not fucking know that? Yes.
Did he?
No, he did. Yes.
Smashing.
That's one of his most famous roles.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Thank thee. Thou cannot know what my brother. Who art thou?